Welcome back. Lose the Abuser began with a mother and daughter's mission to enlighten others on coping with emotional and mental abuse that stems from dealing with a narcissistic individual. Here to discuss their initiative are creators of Lose the Abuser, Nikel Spencer and Lorraine Holden Cunningham. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So I see that you have the shirts.
Yes.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about this initiative and why is it important to get this message out?
Well, it's very important to get this message out because not everyone knows what a narcissist is, when they're in a relationship with a narcissist, when they're in a situation with a narcissist, and the harm that can come to their life when they have that person in their life. So me and my mom had went through something really drastic in our life to have this happen, and to make this happen, make this come into a real life situation for us to lose the abuser. Me and my mother, we went through something when I was like really younger, and it still hinders me today. And I know it just made this come into fruition, and
to help others.
and to make
like her.
awareness for other people to know.
So you all both cared about this very much to get the word out because it was very traumatic for both of you.
Yes.
Now, so your main, I guess you highlight narcissists.
Yes.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, a lot of people don't know that they live in with the narcissist, and that could be for any form, and that could be family members, that could be someone, your husband, your friend, your mate. With us, it was my mate and her dad. So with that being said, it's like you have to, my goal is to acknowledge other people and enlighten other people what to recognize, how to acknowledge what you see, or if they're holding you away from your family, or they're keeping you away from family, causing problems against other people in your friendships, or causing problems with family members to keep you away from them. They will also put on this face like they're beautiful people and they look good, they smell good, they talk well. But behind closed doors, they are really controlling what's going on in your life.
So you said that your ex-husband now, he was a narcissist.
Absolutely.
And he told you that he was a narcissist.
Yes, he enlightened me.
Okay. And now when he told you that he was a narcissist, what did you do with that information?
Well, I said, oh, let me look this up. What is a narcissist? And it's different forms of narcissism. So that's when I started studying, doing a lot of programs, and I also work in psych background, so that also influenced me to go look more into it. So once I found that, I was like, oh, they come in different forms. So you have no idea, but you just have to really look for the signs. You do not allow people to control your friendship, your life. You are your own person, especially when it targets the children. And they will flip things around. With my daughter, for instance, she would have, supposed to have dates with her dad. The dates would never happen. She would call him out on it, and he would flip it on her. Oh, who are you talking to? I'm your dad. That's the power that they try to use. Oh, I'm your husband. Oh, I'm your father. Oh, I'm your older brother. Those things you have to look for.
It's like a power move.
A power move. And they will use that. They don't, what you saying, they will try to flip it. So you have to stand ground. You have to stand your ground. You have to stay true to who you are, believe what you believe, and don't back down.
So I understand, because I have done a little bit of research on narcissists. So I understand there's overt and then there's covert narcissism. What is overt and what were you dealing with?
Well, what I was dealing with, at first I didn't recognize it. And like I said, they're very charming. So they would charm you and gain your trust.
Put on this facade.
And once they gain your trust, they would have you be defensive against other people that's trying to tell you what the right things to do. So that's what things I had to learn until the physical abuse came into play. That was when I said, oh no, this has to stop. I have to not be involved with that. Even though that was her dad, I still wanted her to have that dad relationship with her father because I didn't have that. But when it comes down to the children, my daughter trying to commit suicide, that's a whole nother issue. And I'm like, oh no, father, I don't care who it is, this must stop. So at that point, I decided to put my daughter in therapy, which she is continuing therapy, and we decided you just have to cut off the cord. I don't care who it is. It could be your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. If it's hurting you and affecting your life, then you have to cut them off completely.
Especially when it comes down to physical, too.
So I understand that you all had an event back in December, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
How was that?
It was wonderful. My sister initially thought of it, and she was doing a book as well, which get connection with Lose the Abuser. So we set up an event back in December. It was very successful. And that was, like I said, exposing and enlightening other people about narcissists. It was a great turnout because you have no idea how many other people are dealing with it and afraid to come out. A lot of people are embarrassed to talk about it. I was embarrassed to talk about it. But I'm saying it's a whole world of people that's dealing with this and have no idea, don't know. I help a lot of people. I have it on Instagram, and I put a lot of inspirational quotes up, and a lot of people reach out to me. They may not reach out. Some people reach out on Instagram. Some also reach out to me by phone, and I talk to them, and I just keep encouraging them.
So what is the event about? What are they focused on? Like, what do you? So if I were to go to the event, how would it look?
It would look like people that are afraid to speak up, people that's going through things, and I would encourage them. This is what we need to do. We need to get together. You need to acknowledge this, that, and the third. With the signs, I let them know. We also sell merchandise that represent Lose the Abuser.
Hats.
And hats.
Shirts,
and exposing
sweaters.
that narcissists, women are not afraid of narcissists.
You're taking the power back.
Okay, it's taking the power back.
Taking the power back.
Okay, now what would you tell people who are in this situation, or what advice would you give?
Well, my advice for younger teenagers my age, I'm sorry, hit the mic. Younger teenagers my age, you're gonna think it's okay, people choking your neck and all the little playful things, younger, people doing a relationship. Sometimes if someone's doing stuff like that, or talking to you really crazy, making you feel down, talking you down, really making you feel low. That's not healthy. That's not okay. That's showing the signs of a narcissist, someone that's not really here for you like they say they are. If they made it seem like in the beginning it was cool, everything was great, and then behind closed doors it's different, that's not okay. That's not healthy. That's, especially when it comes down to physical, don't let that go down. You have to take your power back and become yourself. Put yourself first. It's always putting yourself first, taking care of yourself, and that's what my advice would be.
And what events do you have coming up?
Well, stay tuned. You could go to our webpage, our Instagram and Facebook, and I am working on some new shirts that my daughter is designing.
Yes.
I am trying to gear to a nonprofit organization of Lose the Abuser. So that is what's up for the future.
All right, well, thank you both for joining
you for
us.
having us.
Thank you for having us.
For more information, follow @LoseTheAbuser on Instagram. We've come to the end of our show today. I'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us, and you, the viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the re-cablecast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Optimum Channel 67, Verizon Fios 33, or watch anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. That wraps it up for here on the set of Open. I'm Darissa White. Make sure you keep this channel wide open. Take care and stay positive.